And so, qualifier 3 is upon us. Sorry for the long break. I just recently started college classes, so don't expect these to be as coming out as consistently as before. But anyway, get qualifier 3, one brand new team, 4 returning teams. Let's take a closer look. Up first, our brand new team, Predatory Response. They are a team of all predator-like cars. We got some nice agility on the team as well. Looking forward to that. Street Profits are back. They have, of course, the Cadillac Seville, along with 4 newcomer numbers. Some of them we have seen before, others we have not. Combustion Kings are back. They were in the main event last season, but unfortunately could not advance. They are back now with some new members and 2 returning ones, Track Tune and Hollowback. Hot Pursuit didn't manage to make it out of the qualifier last season, unfortunately, surprisingly. They are back with 2 new members. 3 are returning, and they have, of course, some nice agility on their side. Finally, Devastation Wagons. The Woody gave a great effort for the team in the main event, going for A-Run, but could not cinch it up. They have the Woody and Jackhammer returning with 3 new members and some nice agility. But yes, all these teams are going to fight it out. We're going to see which one of these 3 will advance to the main event. Let's find out as we kick off round 1. Starting us off, of course, Predatory Response, and they're going to starting off with, and it's going to be Crocrod. Crocrod, usually a great starter car and very agile, very difficult to eliminate half of the time. Goes like curbside though, and follow up by that's going to be the Street Profits, and to my understanding, this time they're going to be actually starting off with Tucker Torpedo. Usually they start with the Seville, so interesting. Tucker Torpedo is usually a solid car to start off with. And followed by Tucker Torpedo is gonna be, I believe, Track Tune, as per tradition for the Combustion Kings. Track Tune, very difficult to eliminate car, usually does great, so Combustion Kings want to keep it alive. Followed up next is going to be Hot Pursuit, and I'm assuming they are going to be starting off with, Boombox, who slams into Track Tune, but look at that recovery by Track Tune. As you can see, this is why Combustion Kings love to start off with this car. It has agility up the wazoo. Boombox locks it in. Crocrod still curbside, and now back to Devastation Wagons, and this time they are going to be starting off with Jackhammer this time. Jackhammer, gets underneath Boombox, but Boombox stays alive. However, not exactly in a great position, could easily be tipped over. Jackhammer locks in. Crocrod is starting to escape. Back around the roster now, it's going to be Predatory Response, and they are going to be sending down next, I believe. That bit by the T-Rex car, I forgot its name. Almost sends Jackhammer sideways, but Jackhammer stays alive. T-Rex goes curbside. Crocrod fully escapes, and Boombox is pretty safe now. Tucker Torpedo still locked in. Up next is going to be another car for Street Profits. And it's going to be the Seville. Oh, no. That is not good for Devastation Wagon. Not the kind of start you want. Jackhammer goes over sideways. They're highly unusual for this car. T-Rex is now even more curbside. And look at Tucker Torpedo. That is odd. It seems like it's starting to tip over, even though it's sort of on the track still. And that is an odd position. But it's still not exactly a great position either. The Seville stays locked in. Up next, and King Kuda takes out the T-Rex story, puts the Seville curbside, but then also takes itself out. Not exactly what you want to do. Torpedo locks it back in, but now the Seville is vulnerable. Usually this car does great at staying locked in, but not right now. It is curbside and vulnerable for a takedown. Baja Bison takes full advantage. A newcomer for Hot Pursuit takes the Seville out, but also takes out the Seville, and that would be a huge detriment to Street Profits if they were to lose it already. That thing is usually their best car. Tucker Torpedo, the only car remaining on the track so far. Half of the field has been eliminated, but half of the field is still standing. And now it's going to be the Woody. And the Woody, of course, was the ace for the Devastation Wagons. It now goes completely perpendicular on the track. That is not what they want. With Jackhammer out, they do not want to lose the Woody. And now it's going to be back to Predatory Response, and they are going to be sending down next. It's going to be Scorpedo. And Scorpedo takes a shot at the Woody, but the Woody stays balanced. That is what Devastation Wagons want. Scorpedo in an odd spot. Its rear is still on the track. That is a vulnerable position. The Woody stays balanced. Tucker Torpedo still locked in on the track. It's going to be hard to get this thing off the track. And it's what in the world? Okay, right now Scorpedo is actually sideways. That would be very bad for Predator. Meanwhile, Heavy Hitcher, it actually looks like it's on top of Tucker Torpedo. That is not the reaction I was expecting there. The Seville actually falls over completely on its roof, so that thing is looking pretty done. It's going to be very bad for the Street Pods. The rest of the team really got to step it up. And Heavy Hitcher manages to stay balanced, and the Seville's basically finished off. Scorpedo actually recovers, so that is good for Predator response. And Torpedo once again locked in still. As Bruising for a Cruising, I believe, or just Bruising is locked in behind the Torpedo. Up next is going to be Hot Pursuit, and oh man, the Chevy Tahoe just destroys Bruising. That is going to be another loss for the Combustion Kings. Chevy Tahoe locks it in. Scorpedo still stays alive. It's going to be back. It's going to be back to the Devastation Wagons, and they are going to be sending down, to my understanding. Whoa, Drift Wagon knocks the Chevy Tahoe off, but the Chevy Tahoe lands up a car crash, stays alive, and the wagon basically escapes. I'm pretty sure that's a safe spot. Once again, Torpedo is the only car remaining on the track still. And and there's actually, the wagon may have fallen into what could have been an eliminated position. That's going to be hard. And the Dino Hauler for Predatory stays alive. Scorpedo is actually kind of starting to tip now a little bit. Predatory got to be careful here that they don't lose it. But yeah, right now it's just been the theme of the match with Torpedo being the only card to lock down track. And as I say that, Mailed It takes a shot at the T-Rex Hauler that looks like it could be eliminated, but Mailed It takes itself out. A bit of a oopsie here. That is not what the Street Profits want. The Seville already out. They do not want to lose any more cars right now. Yeah, Mailed It. I still on the track, so it could be. No, and as I say that, what in the world? Oh no, Hollowback. That is not another loss for the Combustion Kings. It completely finishes off Mailed It, but then sort of goes off the back of Torpedo, and as a result ends up on its side. Wow, that was a good car for Combustion Kings. I see that is not gonna be good for their health. Very unfortunate there. And now it's the Mitsubishi Pace car, and it just locks it in behind the Torpedo. No trouble there. Our Zoo so far have been doing so well. Mine is the self-elimination by Baja Bison. But right now, they are doing well. They still have their two great cars in the match. And the Mitsubishi, as I say, locked in. And as I say that, the Kingswood Estate gets underneath the Mitsubishi, which actually gets underneath Torpedo now. We have a bit of a sandwich going on here. That is not good. And now Street Profits are sweating. They cannot afford to lose the Torpedo already right now with two eliminations so far. Yeah, a bit of a sandwich here. Easily. And as I say, this sandwich gets even bigger. Look at Pterotractyl gets underneath the Kingswood, which is still underneath the Mitsubishi, which is still underneath the Torpedo. And we have a die-cast sandwich right here. It's like Torpedo and Pterotractyl are the buns, and Mitsubishi and the Kingswood are the meat. And as I say, in the three-windowed Ford. Torpedo is in a bad spot. This is not what Street Profits want right now. Meanwhile, the Dino Hauler actually looks like it did manage to recover and settle into another. So that was odd. The Grease Gremlin just kind of bonked into his own team. It actually does help out a track wagon, though, so that's nice for the Devastation Wagons. And yeah, it looks like Torpedo is basically sideways. The Mitsubishi and Kingswood are still holding on. Pterotractyl is curbside. And the AMC Gremlin just gets wrecked by the Gremlin, just by the Impala. That is not good. That is yet another loss for Combustion. They aren't doing too well either. Torpedo's still in the back. And the Maxima gets underneath, but that was the final car of the round. And but it's looking like the Torpedo is basically sideways. The Mitsubishi and Kingswood managed to stay alive. Dino Hauler is in. But that is going to be the end of round one. Quite a few eliminations. Let's go get the aftermath. This is a bit of an odd distribution. Right now, Predatory Response, Hot Pursuit, and Devastation Wagon only lost one. Street Profits lost 3. And wow, Combustion Kings were almost combusted themselves. They lost 4. They were down to just track tune. A very odd distribution of eliminations. Right now, three teams still have 4. The other two, Street Profits and Combustion Kings are gonna have to need a miracle, if they want to stay in this match. But right now, Devastation Wagon starting off with Track Wagon this time, who just locks it in at the front. Followed by this is going to be a Hot Pursuit. Whoa. Whew. Sorry about that. And wow, Boombox just removes Track Wagon from the track, and Boombox stays locked in. Up next is going to be Predatory Response, and they are going to be starting off with. That's amazing. Who they're going to be starting off with this time, and it's actually going to be. It's going to be Crocrod as usual, and Crocrod just puts Boombox slightly curbside. Could be a bit of an issue there. Right now up next is going to be Street Profits. They only have 2 of them. Actually need to keep both of them right, and they start off with Heavy Hitcher, and Heavy Hitcher locks it in, and it looks like Crocrod's actually getting underneath Boombox. There could be trouble, but Heavy Hitcher right now has to stay alive for Street Profits. They want any chance of getting into the main event. And followed that's going to be Combustion Kings, and they have their last hope. They were nearly completely wiped down round 1. It's just Track 2 now that has to keep the team alive. Boombox goes curbside, and Track 2 also goes slay curbside. That is not what Combustion Kings want. That is not what they want at all. They're going to be back around the roster. It's going to be Devastation Wagons. And this time they're starting off with the King, and this time on the Kingswood. The Kingswood just sort of jumbles the line. Boombox is basically escaping. Crocrod's curbside. Track 2 is even more perpendicular, and Heavy Hitcher also curbside. Kingwood itself is curb. Basically, everybody's curbside right now in vulnerable positions. Right now, and the Chevy Tahoe. Oh boy, Heavy Hitcher and the Kingswood. Chevy Tail may have just gotten 2 eliminations. If they stay like that, we're gonna have to take a measurement if they stay like that. But here, Track 2 almost escapes, but not quite in the clear. Crocrod's still curbside. Next is gonna be the Pterotractyl, and Pterotractyl may have just held Heavy Hitcher settled down a bit more. Kingswood not so much. Chevy Tahoe is now on top of Crocrod. That is a bit of an odd position there. Next is the second car for the Street Profits, which is the 3-windowed Ford. Smashes into the line, but Chevy Tail escapes, and Pterotractyl makes a nice save, landing into the safety area. And looks like Heavy Hitcher is basically recovered. Crocrod's still hanging out. And then back around, obviously, to the Devastation Wagons once again. It's going to be the Maxima this time, and the Maxima just locks it in behind the 3-windowed. Crocrod is still hanging on at the front. And then up next, it's going to be another hit from Hot Pursuit. And it's actually going to be, in the Mitsubishi Pace car, puts the 3-windowed and the Maxima Wagon curbside. The Mitsubishi itself also goes curbside. Crocrod is now on top of the 3-windowed. This is odd. This is a very odd position for a lot of these cars. Next, it could be a big one. And Scorpedo takes down the Maxima Wagon. The Mitsubishi Pace car actually manages to escape and stay unharmed. And the 3-window's still hanging on at the front. And then Crocrod's still hanging on as well. Followed by Scorpedo, it's gonna be, I believe, it's gonna be the Woody, and the Woody, the Woody jumbles the pile. The rear window is staying alive. Crocrod is basically escaping on top of Boombox, and Scorpedo, that looks pretty much into me. I don't think that's out, consider out. And the Impala finish out the 3-windowed. Street Profits are going to lose one. They are going to be down to just Heavy Hitcher then. And then final car of the round here, it's going to be the Dino Hauler for Predatory Response. And, the Dino Hauler, that could have been a bit of an oopsie, but it stays alive. And that is going to be the end of round 2. Taking a look at the Kingswood, it looks like the Kingswood is like right at 45, I'd argue. And it looks like it's just going to barely stay in, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you want to take a measurement on this. Some of them are measuring tool while I'm doing these vids, so apologies if some of them come out wrong. But but to me, I think the Kingswood's still in, so that's going to be the end of round 2. Probably only 2 cars were eliminated. Devastation Wagons lost to Maxima. They are down to 3. And Street Profits lost to 3-window. They are going to be down to 1 along with Combustion Kings. Hot Pursuit and Predatory Response still hanging on at 4. They seem like to be the best teams in this match as we going to be going into round 3. Starting us off is going to be Predatory Response, and they are going to be starting off with Crocrod, and Crocrod doesn't do much there. Once again, goes curbside. It seems to always go curbside out at the starting hits, but it usually stays alive, no problem. And Boombox, whoa, sends the Crocrod sprawling a bit, but stays on the track perpendicular, though. And Boombox also curbside now. Up next is going to be Devastation Wagons, and they are going to be staying on Track Wagon, and Track Wagon just helps Crocrod sell into the Crocrod's trying to escape. Boombox still slowly curbside now, but in the front this time. Track Wagon stays locked in. Whoa, a big hit by Track Tumo. What a save by both Track Wagon and Boombox. Boombox rolling it back over to recovery. Track Wagon doing some nice flips and flipping into the safety area and stays alive. That is what the Devastation Wagons want. Up next, the final card for Street Profits. It's going to be... Whoa, and Heavy Hitter takes a shot at Combustion Kings with that. But Tractoon flipping back over and keeping its team alive in this match. Heavy Hitter now curbside. It's got to stay alive for the Street Profits. Whoa, and Scorpedo also tries to eliminate Street Profits with Heavy Hitter. So let's roll it over. That's kind of an odd spot. It's like hanging on to Track Wagon and Tractoon. Scorpedo 9, a great spot. That is not a good spot. That is heavily vulnerable. And the Chevy Teo with some nice flipping over does it, lands it, and also takes down Scorpedo. That's going to be a loss for Predator. It's a tough loss there. That Scorpedo usually a great card. That is it's going to hurt Predatory Response, but they still have 3 in it. Up next is going to be another one for Devastation Wagons, and it's actually going to be the Woody stays locked in, just sort of bounces back, but stays locked in on the track. That's what you want to do if there's no cars on the track, is stay locked in so that you're not in a vulnerable position for the next hits. Oh no, and the Dino Hauler. Oh geez, that is gonna be another loss for Predatory Response. The Dino Hauler hits the back of the Woody, but then just sort of flips off the track and takes itself out. That car has been showing a bit of instability, and here it pays the price. Wow, the Predatory Response have lost 2 now. That is not what they want at all. And up next, the Mitsubishi Pace car, which just locks it in behind the Woody. This car has been actually kind of better than I expected. It's only round 3 though, and then it's up next, but we'll see. It's still alive, and followed by that, it's gonna be, I believe, it's gonna be another Predatory Response. No, that is the Kingswood, and oh man, the Mitsubishi actually looks like it was gonna recover, but unfortunately gets blocked by his teammates, sadly, and flips over sideways. Wow, but nice effort, but no dice, and the Kingswood locking it in behind its own teammates. Up next, we're gonna be back to Hot Pursuit, I believe. Actually, no, Predator Response. And it's a Terra Tractile takes a shot at the Kingswood, but the Kingswood stays alive, stays balanced. It's kind of in a vulnerable position, but there's only one more car in the round, which is going to be the Impala for Hot Pursuit. And the Impala doesn't do anything else. Kingswood stays alive. That is going to be the end of round 3. We had 3 cars eliminated. Once again, all 5 teams still in this match. Let's gonna take a look at our aftermath. Predatory Response got hit hard. They lost 2 down to 2. Hot Pursuit lost 1 down to 3. Now even with Devastation Wagons, who's still hanging on with 3. Street Profits and Combustion King still hanging on with their 1 car each. As we're gonna be going into round 4. This is the longest so far that any qualifier have gone. And all 5 of these teams want to make it into the main event, but there is only room for 3 of them, and they're giving it their best shot. And Track Wagon once again starting us off for the Devastation Wagons, and just locks it in at the front, just shoving aside the track buffer. Up next is Boombox, and Boombox puts Track Wagon curbside along with itself. Boombox has been doing this a lot recently, but so far it's been staying alive, no problemo. Up next then is going to be Predator, who are kind of reeling from the loss of 2 cars in the previous round. They have 2 now. And it's Crocrod. Whoa, Crocrod takes a shot at Boombox, with Boombox, of course, showing its casual agility. Manages to stay balanced and stay alive. Crocrod now is in a very bad spot. This is not what Predatory Response want. Crocrod, though, usually has no problem surviving these sort of scenarios. And up next is going to be... Oh, and as I say that, why... just my mouth. And unfortunately, Heavy Hitcher takes itself out and takes out Crocrod. We might be seeing our first team get eliminated here at Street Profits. Unless Heavy Hitcher makes a miracle save, they're going to be out of this match. Meanwhile, Predator Response just lost Crocrod. They're going to be down to 1. What has happened to Predator Response? They started this match so strong, but then now they are starting to fall apart. Whoa, and Tractoon takes a shot Tractor who just spins around, saves him. Tractor. I don't think that was a good idea, though. It really should have said. This is when you get the opportunity, you don't want to miss it. Not gonna have to take another hit, and it's in a vulnerable position. And sadly for it, that hit is gonna be from a teammate. And the Woody, oh no, the Woody with some friendly fire there takes out Track1, who actually gets pinned by Crocrod. That's but then again, there wasn't really much the Woody could have done there. I hearing what it could have been worse. And Track2 is now heavily curbside. That is a vulnerable position. Thing is, can Hot Pursuit take advantage? And the Chevy Tail is unable to. Track2 manages to spin around and stay alive, keeping Combustion Kings in this match like it's been doing this whole time. The Chevy Tail in a vulnerable position here now. Not exactly. Well, and as I say that, a Pterotractyl spins it around, but the Chevy Tail stays alive. Next, the Pterotractyl's gonna have to sustain a big hit here from the Kingswood Estate, the heaviest thing in this match right now. And the Kingswood Estate. Whoa, the Kingswood does send Pterotractyl sprawling, but Pterotractyl manages to eke out the save and keep predatory response in the match. One more card around, and that's gonna be the Impala, which just locks it in behind the Kingswood. We had 4 cars eliminated, 3 cars eliminated, and we were saying goodbye to our first team. We say goodbye to the Street Profits, maybe better luck for them next time. Devastation Wagons fall down to 2. Predatory response fall down to 1. Now, even with Combustion Kings, who are still hanging on at 1. Meanwhile, the Hot Pursuit are now leading. They still have 3 in this match as we go into round 5. Right now, somehow Combustion Kings are still staying alive with their ace track tune. Boombox, as usual, starting off for Hot Pursuit, locking it in at the front. And up next is going to be for Devastation Wagons, and they are going to be starting off with, it's going to be the Woody, and the Woody just sort of pokes at Boombox, who manages to get away relatively and stay alive. Woody just stays locked in then. Up next, then, it's gonna be the one and only track tune for Combustion Kings, who is keeping them in this match. It would be weird to see Combustion Kings advance thanks to the efforts of this one car, but it could happen. But it's gonna have to take a hit from Pterotractyl, who's up next, who's suddenly the last hope. Predator response, and Pterotractyl desperately tries to take down Track Tune to end this match, but Track Tune makes yet another save. So now Pterotractyl's got to make another recovery, most likely, because up next is gonna be Hot Pursuit. And they are going to be sending down the Chevy Tahoe, I believe. And it doesn't. Oh, no. The Chevy Tahoe just sort of flips Pterotractyl over on its face, and it ends up on its root. If it doesn't save it, this match is going to be over. With that, Predatory Response, who started this match strong, are suddenly going to be out. And we're going to have our 3 teams. But it's not over yet. It still has 2 hits. And as I say, and the Kingswood takes down the Chevy Tahoe. But I think Hot Pursuit are pretty much cinched in for the main event, basically. And the Boombox still in it, and they still have the Impala final card of the round, and it doesn't do anything. And yep, talk about an upset there. 2 cars eliminated, and just like that, Predatory Response choke big time despite their strong start. And here are your winners of this match going to the main event: Hot Pursuit, Devastation Wagons, and Combustion Kings. I cannot believe what I witnessed. Seriously, Combustion Kings lost 4 in round 1. And yet, despite that, Track Tune, this one single agile car, gets them into the main event. Meanwhile, Hot Pursuit with the most amount of points, they are going to get the bonus action for the main event. Devastation Wagons showing a more rounded lineup compared to last season, so that's going to be definitely a plus. But yeah, this was Qualifier 3. Again, apologies for the wait, but I'm going to see you all next time with Qualifier 4. Thank you and goodbye.